Happy Friday, and welcome to the Wolff Den. Today we welcome Scott Levin of LiveSource. He's going to tell us all about their auctions that they're doing. Welcome to the show, Scott. How's everything going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so the first thing we'll mention here is that Scott's better half, Mary, who is part of the company, was scheduled to be with us today, but some family problems. Family always comes first. We understand that, especially. But tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll get into the thing.
Yeah. Mary. One of my kids got sick, so she can't make it. We Rochambeau for who got to come on, and I won. So thanks for having me, Matt, again. My name is Scott Levin. I'm an attorney and a long-time event participant. I grew up my whole life going to concerts and sporting events all over the country, like just for fun. And then Mary and I, once we met and got married, did the same. So we've traveled, all over just to do, fun things. A lot of it, before we had all of our kids, but and we still try to get out every once in a while. So we've always been like, really into going out to events, having fun. And one of the things that we realized, during that process at some point was that, once we're at the event, we'd love to be given another chance or a special opportunity to, go on the field, do something cool, buy something memorable, take home something, a keepsake from that experience. And we're most prone to do it live. We're not really, gonna go. We're not the sort of people that go on the web, the concert's website and buy a meet and greet, in advance. But like once we've loosened up and had a couple drinks and we're there and we're not around our kids, let's have some fun. And that's kind of what the idea of LiveSource is. It's an online auction and raffle and fundraising platform and live event promoters, sports teams, concert promoters, create experience opportunities and memorabilia and sell all sorts of things on LiveSource. And they do it, oftentimes live when there are such events happening. And hopefully 2021 will be a bounce back after we get this virus a little more under control.
Yeah, we're all looking forward to that. Where did you grow up?
I'm from San Diego.
From San Diego. Love San Diego. The Gaslamp district.
Yeah, Mary and I both went to NYU and met out there. So we have a lot of love for NYC as well. Was
it online? Did you meet her at?
I met her online, yeah, on JDate.
Wow, yeah, JDate's existed. I met my wife on Bumble, and we have a good friend of the show called Playing the Field. Are you familiar with Playing the Field? They're a new sort of dating app connecting sports people, and they have a great podcast. They go two nights a week. It's called The Fan Experience. It might be. I'm sure they'd love to have you guys on there.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
A good story. So, so you're an attorney, and when you thought of this business, what was the we'll get into the business, but what was the process? Because I was working full time, created Ticket Time Machine, and I didn't go full time until last year. So I was it was more like a side hustle that I knew was going to be my full time, but I was transitioning. How did that work for you guys? What was Mary doing?
Yeah, so my wife's a dental hygienist by trade. So she was working cleaning people's teeth, but she's got Mary has landed more deals for LiveSource cleaning people's teeth than I have, and all my sales guys have. Calling and leveraging relationships and all that. Mary is an expert at if she's cleaning now. She doesn't clean teeth anymore, but if she was cleaning your teeth and you had something to do with concerts or sporting events, or you were a GM of a team or anything like that, she was hitting you up regarding LiveSource, and she's landed some of our biggest deals that way, because the person's looking up and they don't have a chance to say no. You know,
You got to do it, right? I mean, that's what you got. We say hi, Ethan. Thanks for joining us. If you got any questions, put it in the chat. We'll be happy to answer them.
but yeah, so like I was so Mary was cleaning. Mary continued to clean teeth during the the year that we developed the platform, and then I was supporting that growth with my work in law, and I also run some other I've always done other things. I'm not a work for a company for 40 years type of guy. So I have some other businesses that I was running at the time, and so yeah, all the the startup costs we incurred through those efforts, like Matt, and then the tough thing that we realized is once we created the initial version of LiveSource, like, okay, well, we don't know anyone in sports. It's not like we have connections to teams or anything. If my dad owned the Lakers, man, we would have every NBA team, 5 years ago by now.
Have you been around for 5 years? I forget. I'm sorry. Did you mention when you guys started?
Yeah, we started in 2015.
Okay, so you're around 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And how many of those years were you all in on it?
Yeah. So we became all in full time 2018. And then with COVID, I've actually taken on some law clients too. So not turning away business with when people call me with problems.
What kind of law do you do?
I do family mediation.
Oh wow! Oh, so my wife is a magistrate judge.
Oh,
she's an attorney for family law for many years now. She does family stuff for a judge.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, it's good to be able to have that ability to do to have your company, but also have the type of skill or occupation that you can keep that on the side. It just keeps you fresh anyway. It's got to be a good way to expand the business too. I'm sure there's people that you're talking to on the legal side, same as what Mary's doing with cleaning teeth. Any connection, you never know what any connection can lead you to. We have a thought I'd drop by. For some reason, it's not showing who, but thanks for coming. We love having an audience. I don't know what Frank thought was funny, but it probably was something you said, Scott, and not me.
Maybe it's my what's the Senator Ted Cruz impersonation I'm going for right now?
Oh yeah, it's is that a COVID beard? What do you usually?
Yeah, I'm doing the thing where I don't shave. Like I don't really shave for like 2.5 weeks, and then I shave.
Yeah, that's you're lazy like me. That's how we do it. My dad one time grew his beard, and it was for a while, and it was just remember it being a very weird look on him. And I was like, Dad, when you probably shave. And then finally he shaved. It was I can't even tell you how long he had it. It could have been a week, but it probably was like 2-3 months. All right, so 18. What was the decision that brought you to go all in?
We just had done the summer before, which was our first real shot at driving revenue. We had partnered with a whole bunch of MILB, minor league baseball teams, and during that first summer of having some real success, all of a sudden we were getting partnerships in hockey and soccer, some boxing events. Like all of a sudden things were just kind of rolling, and then heading back into the following summer, we added another 20 or so baseball team. So it just there was just a lot of activity, a lot of growth happening, and it was supporting itself. It was just, we just had the revenue coming in to support, our basic needs. And when you have a passion project like LiveSource, Matt, when you have a passion project and it actually starts to take off, you really are pumped to go to work. It's actually fun.
Yeah, it's and the fact that you were making enough money to do it, that's a no-brainer, and so that's great. and my buddy Corey is in. Corey's big. Nobody can wait. Nobody is more excited for live music to come back than my buddy Corey. And we're gonna be seeing some shows soon, soon, Corey. Soon. We don't know when, but soon. Keep the faith.
So, Matt, were you when you went full in? Were you working just in this within the same industry, or?
No, I was working for LexisNexis.
Okay.
Doing anti-money laundering solutions, and I had I'd started the company, and I said to my boss end of December that I have a company, I have an idea and I'm going to roll with it, and I need to go full time on it. And that was literally the last week of 19. And I said, I'd love to give you as much notice as you need. And I'd love, I'm not like in a rush to do it. So, what do you think is fair? And we said on April 1. So I decided I was leaving April 1 before the pandemic even happened. I got married in February. And then, I got back from my honeymoon. We're in a lockdown. Then April 1 comes, and I was done. But going all in is I'll bet on myself any day of the week. That's what it's just, you got to do it, and you got
a cool idea too, man. I like what you guys are doing.
You got to focus. You know how it is. You have to focus, and the time, like you were doing well with yours while you guys were still doing other things, but you're doing much better as you can focus, because there's just stuff you can't do if you're not doing it, full time during the day. You have to worry about this, especially if you have, clients and she's cleaning teeth. There's some jobs you can kind of like skate by and maybe do both, but this is not one of them. Let's talk a little bit. So I'm gonna, we're gonna have you talk everything about the app itself and how it works. Intriguing to me because I was, sort of in the same boat where you're starting a company. Your app is, and your company and your idea is obviously very technical. So how did you navigate through that?
Yeah, man. Well, it was tough. Okay, so we had been at a children's hospital fundraiser in 2015, and then we had bid while at that fundraiser on a Guns N' Roses guitar. That was like, with the bid sheets where you write down your name on a piece of paper. And so then 2 weeks later, we went to the Guns N' Roses concert at Petco, and that was like the inspiration for the idea. Like we were just thinking, like, well, why don't they just sell the guitar here and then make an announcement or put it on the big giant screen, and then give the money away to the Children's Hospital if they wanted to, or the Guns N' Roses Foundation, or whatever they're up to, or keep it. And that was like the inspiration for the idea. So now, how do you execute on that? Well, the first thing I did was I went on GoDaddy and I wasted like $600 or $700 on like some domains that I never used that were like in demand. So I still own those. I'm happy to sell them to anyone. But then,
what do you sell a domain for? Because we see some outrageous, like Frank, are you still with us? We we bought some domains, and there's some outrageous price. I'm like, is someone going to pay that to have .com instead of .? I mean, if you're good enough, you'll drive them to the website. Nobody.
Yeah, that's what I didn't realize. Yeah, so I didn't have a name or anything. This was like literally the next day. So like I bought the website instantauctions.com.
Okay.
And some and a couple others, but that was the one that the other ones were just like $10, but that one cost money. So I did that, and then I was like, okay, so how do you actually create this thing? So then I started calling around to some local companies. I had a friend that's done really, really well that created a game, like one of the games for the, an app, basically, game app. And so I asked him for a recommendation, like, who developed it for you. And then I had some other buddies that like had some companies where they were working overseas with developers. And all those quotes were like, pretty, high. And I didn't feel comfortable like not working with someone, at least in the state, at least that like spoke English as a first language. I just didn't want to like go down the road and have nothing at the end and not have like any recourse. So I actually, a guy that I was renting office space with, a good friend of mine still, Steve Everson, had a client who was always bragging about how good his son was at Tech, and so he put me in touch with the son. We went to lunch, and that kid is the person that has worked with LiveSource from the very beginning, developing our platform.
How
And
old is
I got
he?
really lucky. Well, he's now married, but he was just a graduate of out of college when I first met him. So right out of college, and I'm sure. I mean, what might not have been his like first real job. He always had like rumblings of like, oh, I used to do hacking, like all weird stuff. But yeah, but that guy and he turned out to be honest. I'm honest, and we've worked together ever since really well. So
He's still involved.
Still involved.
And so the app is, I mean, that's the hardest part of, once you get over the app, obviously there's kinks, but that's the major expense, and that's the major hurdle for you.
Yeah, originally, so we took way longer than what I wanted, but it was 8 months to develop, maybe even longer if I was trying to be honest with myself, because, we couldn't afford a team. I wasn't going to go bankrupt over the idea. So it was just him, and, he worked really hard, but my ideas were I'd come in one day and I'd say this. The next day I'd come in and be like, well, actually, why don't you make it do this?
That's perfect. They love that.
Yeah, I ruined his life for around a year. But yeah, so I mean, once we have the initial version, what you don't realize though is that your marketing costs are going to be double. I think around double of what you put in to get to to get to your first initial version of what you've produced. Because for me, I was doing all my own sales, so I wasn't at first. I didn't have a sales team, but just to get in the door, are you going to do a booth at a baseball conference or a soccer conference, or how are you going to get your foot in the door? Just calling team by team by team by team and concert promoter we got to market, and then and then we had to actually get to market by getting some users.
Did you have beta testing before?
I just tested it on my own and with a couple of my buddies.
Okay.
Actually, our first real event was our first client, real client was Bill McGillis, who's the athletic director at University of San Diego. Incredible guy, good friend of mine now to this day. He took a shot on us, and we did a bunch of events for University of San Diego athletics, and they went okay. I mean, it worked enough. But we worked out the kinks, through that process. And then, we've been the thing about Tech though, is that there hasn't been a day since we launched that we haven't been working to improve the technology. So we've revised it, revamped it, improved it, added features. Clients are always coming up with great ideas. That's the great thing about being, in minor league sports or smaller sports the MASL, the Arena Soccer League, or AHL, ECHL, these people are really being creative because they have to. They don't have 250,000, Twitter followers or 1 million Twitter followers like the Chargers or whoever, to rely on. So these people are being really creative, and then they bring us ideas it'd be cool if it did this, or what about if you could do that? And that's
really good connection with Andrew. I mean, that's where I saw you, right, with Andrew Haynes, and another good friend of the program. So I'm assuming you went to the baseball meetings. Is that how you got involved? Well, I've been to them once. It was a great show.
Yeah, we've been to 3. Well, we went to two winter meetings. Would have been a third, this past December if it existed. So we did that. But really, the first clients we got in baseball were from cold calls. Our very first baseball client was Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and that was a cold call. And then let's have lunch let's have a beer at the winter meetings. And so we didn't have the deal in place, but we brought the contract in the back of our in our bag for that beer. And meeting went well, and we closed it there. And we had some other first
signed at the show.
Oh yeah, that's my favorite thing to do, is to whip out that contract. And they go, wait, right now? And I go, yeah, have another beer right now.
I got a great. I was at a show. This is a long time ago. And we welcome Brent Joseph Meckler. good friend of mine. Hi, Brent. How are you? Dynamite comment.
Looks like a nice family.
He's got the best. He's got 2 twin girls and a boy, a son. Just came back from Gainesville. Got the Gator game. We love the Gators here. So I was at a trade show. It must have been the fairs and festivals. You two could be there. Manny. You two could be there. Driving and we love that you're listening to us, but no driving and commenting. Manny, tell us what you mean. I'm not sure I'm understanding. You two could be there. Anyway, so we're at the fairs and festivals show. Oh, we could be brothers.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking at we got the 2 Jewish profiles going.
There's probably a joke there somewhere. I don't know. We'll let the
only Jewish people can say that to each other.
Yeah. So I'm at this fairs and festival show, and this guy comes to the booth, and he's talking a big game, like, yeah, what we want to sign on, and we want to do this. I'm like, yeah, we don't write contracts here. Like, we got to go through the process. And he's like, no, man, let's come on, let's sign. And it turns out he wasn't interested in signing, but we didn't do it then. I don't know. I guess it's good if you had conversations.
Yeah, a lot of them are set up, for those conversations. Like, yeah, we'll sign at the when we come by your booth. So we've had a lot of booths. Some of them, that's another thing, Matt. Like, you start buying these booths at these conventions, you can go bankrupt buying the booths. Like, I've gone to meetings where I didn't come out with anything because it just wasn't the right fit, and I spent like $3,500. Which isn't like the end of the world, I know, but like. That's a lot of money to just toss away.
For sure. The minor league shows are great. I mean, they got popcorn machines and they hire help. And so what were you giving? What do you give out at the booth? What's your go-to?
You know what? I think what we did, because the San Diego meeting, the last winter meetings were actually in San Diego, and the ones before that were in Vegas. So I forget what we did in Vegas, but in San Diego, there's this really good donut place, and we weren't at one of the hotels because we're based in San Diego. So I just stopped by this really good donut place every morning and picked up like 24 donuts and put them out. And we had a steady stream of people coming by. But yeah, we didn't do. But we've done at the NPSL soccer meetings, we did a big giveaway where people entered to win on LiveSource so that they could experience . So with LiveSource, you can do auctions and paid raffles and 50-50 raffles, but you can also do free enter to wins. So you could give away something for free, and people claim their raffle ticket on the platform online or on the app, and then our system randomly selects the winner. And the reason that you do that is to collect the data. So anyone that enters to win, you get their name, their email, their cell phone, and you can export that information. So we've always done that for whatever reason, we haven't done it at the baseball meetings, but we've done that at all of our other meetings where we didn't really know that many people going into it. So that later on we would see oh, okay, here's the GM of the team who claimed his free ticket. So although we were writing down who that person was that we just spoke to on the back of their business card, we always had a forever, data point for them.
I think your app itself would be useful at this for, giving something away or offer, whatever it is.
I've pitched what about the convention holders? I've always said I've been to probably 15 sports related conventions, and I was and where I've had a booth, and I've always pitched to the promoters hey, why don't you get something from everybody, and they can all give away something, and then you could let people know that they can get their free ticket on LiveSource and be entered to win for all the stuff. And no one's gone for it, but I mean, I've done it myself at my booths, and I have 150 people entering.
I go to some conferences from my LexisNexis days. I'll send you someone who has a box. They have 15, 20 boxes, and you put a thing in. So I got to think they'd much rather use what you're doing. So
Well, the data is there, so you know.
I'll let you know. So let's get into the app itself. I'm assuming any event is someone who could use this, right?
Yeah.
Also, a little bit how it works from the customer point of view, and then the attendee also.
Yeah, so basically, like we give our clients a login to the back end of LiveSource, so they create, and then we teach them how to use LiveSource. So they then create their own opportunities. It takes about a minute or so to create an entire event with items. It's all like auto saved in the text. Like it's very fast to create any opportunity. So essentially, our clients log in. Most of the time I'm learning of new auctions or raffles or whatever when I go to the site and look, because it's so easy that the clients don't really ping us after a while, of using it. They can just do it themselves anytime. There's no limitation on use. So like we want people using the platform often. When you create an event with, items, you get a direct link so that you can send that link out to your supporters or fans or whatever the event is, so that people can arrive just to your page. And so we originally had the 2 free apps that are called LiveSource. They're awesome. If you love apps, you'll love our apps. And then since originally launching, we've added a bidding website too. So you can go, if people don't like apps, they can just go online and participate on our website. It's just really about being simple, easy. We had to build it easy because, a lot of these sports teams have like interns running it. And then the next year, those interns are gone and the next people are there. And so it has to be really simple and easy so that we're not spending all of our time, retraining, the 17th person from this organization how to use it. And in terms of the front end, depending on, like right now there's an event, West Virginia University has a big gala going on. So it's a virtual gala, and it's supporting their baseball team. So they have about 200 auction items up with like game used football helmets and baseball memorabilia and West Virginia gear and it's trips and experiences. So like if you have a virtual, if you're having a gala with a silent auction or a virtual gala for a charity or a sports team or anything, you can use LiveSource and people will go to the site or go to the app. They'll bid and buy their items there. There's shipping so that they can buy shipping and have the items shipped to them. And so you don't have any offline communication. It's just a really mature platform. The main things that our clients are in sports are using us for are jersey auctions, like hat auctions, batting helmet auctions. Like for Mother's Day, like they'll do a pink bat, so all the players will have a pink bat, and then they'll auction those off live during the game, and people can bid from anywhere. And then we also enable 50-50 raffles, so like people can buy a raffle ticket on our platform. They're entered to win, and then our system randomly selects the winner. So it's just all about being easy.
I didn't know what number you have.
You just you're entered to win, and then we have like the tickets. They show like which tickets you have, but our system will randomly select the winner and like ping the winner and let everyone know that they lost. So like the winner gets a notification on their phone and then their email saying they won. And the losers see like, try again. Sorry.
It was exciting. We were at a Marlins game and bought a 50-50. And it got up there. I was surprised how much it got up there. I forget.
The Padres are at like 50,000 at 50-50.
Yeah, it's good. 50-50 is great.
Especially for like minor teams. I actually think the future of 50-50s are going to really dramatically expand. I was talking to an owner of like Playhouse, this nonprofit yesterday that owns like many playhouses throughout the country. And I was saying, like, I believe, like, 2, 3, 4 years from now, like, there will be 50-50s at playhouses, at amphitheater events, like concerts. There's, it will continue to expand as, the legality of the gambling, which is happening quickly, is loosening up.
Yeah, I will eventually be doing a Gator basketball event And 50-50 is, I mean, that's, you start to do an event, that's one of the first things you think of. You think silent auction and 50-50. To me, they're no-brainers, right?
Yeah.
Merch, obviously, that's something that could be. Minor league baseball, we had Jesse Cole on the show here. Have you talked to the Savannah Bananas?
No, I haven't actually.
I think they would be great. They're one of the best marketing teams. That's
Wow.
one of the best marketing. He's all about the fan experience, and they have some great specialty events. They're doing a St. Patty's Day game. They did a Thanksgiving game, and I mean, do you auction out experiences as well, or is it mostly?
Yeah. No, anything like throughout the first, the Rochester Red Wings are really great with experiences. They're one of our great clients, so they do all sorts of experiences. You know what's crazy is that people love the manager's card, like the lineup card. That's something that's really unique that I've learned through this experience. Like the Rochester Red Wings have sold several lineup cards for over $1,000. And literally, these are things that would be that are usually just tossed in the trash. Like after
the set list, people line up after a concert.
Yeah, set lists are huge.
Car picks for,
Yeah, have you seen that Twitter it's called like set list or something, and they have like pictures of.
Great.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Instagram
or Instagram
album receipts. With her. Yeah, that's a great. I love it. I love what she.
I think what you're doing is so cool, man, and I'm stoked to be in touch with you. And I'm excited to see your growth, and I'm always around if off camera when you're ready to talk. We can chat it up.
Yeah, I think we'd have a lot to talk about. The interesting thing is, everyone, we're all trying to talk to the same people. So
I know.
In competition, I'm not competing with you. We could actually probably work together. We could put something together for you to give away at your trade shows that would,
exactly.
That's a little bit different. And so might as well, for anyone listening, tell us a little bit about the pricing structure.
Yeah, so we have just a percentage per transaction fee that's pretty nominal. And then there's a credit card fee through Stripe of 2.9%. And right now through February 15th, if anyone's out there, we're waiving any of our upfront licensing fees. So basically, we would just, for any clients that we're signing up, we've been promoting this on our website and social media. But through February 15th, if you sign up with LiveSource through the lifetime of your partnership, there won't be any licensing fees due. So we're just true partners with our clients in that sense. Like, when they make money, we'll make money. And obviously very motivated to help them as a result.
Without a licensing fee, there's nothing to lose.
Yeah, there's nothing to lose except me wasting time signing people up that don't use it. So we try to make sure that someone's going to actually use it.
I get that. The term no-brainer gets tossed around. I say, and then someone says, I said, well, it's true. I mean, I've offered programs at no cost. You just say, I'm going to take the risk and say, I believe in what your event's doing and that people are going to want to commemorate it. And you get a no, and you're just like, well, there's a lot of people who aren't using their brains.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about, there's no risk, but they even think there's a perceived risk, or they're worried about their job, or who knows, whatever the reason is. But the fans want access. They want easy access to things. They want more access. They want merchandise. So this is it just makes it easy.
And when you do things virtually, you get thanked virtually. So like a lot of our clients, one of the cool benefits that I really like, I think are really important, but a lot of GMs, it's kind of below them, but their marketing people get really excited. When someone wins something on LiveSource, they're on their phone, right, or computer. What are they going to do? If you're at a game, like I've seen this happen, I could pull up like 50 tweets, which I've screenshotted, of course, where someone whose kid got to go on the field and get a jersey from a player and take a picture. they can take that picture and go on Twitter and then go, hey, at Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, you guys rock. My kids had so much fun. Thank you so much. Can't wait to come back again. How much value is that tweet worth? Like
a lot.
We're all, it's not about like what we tweet and what we put on our Instagram. Of course that helps, but it's that organic promotion from other people about our products and services that's really the gold. And that's kind of like what our clients experience when they do this virtually, or
you can't even measure it. I just we're at a conference this week, and it was a speaking session, my first one. I hope to be able to post it for people, but I talk about, immeasurable data going beyond the numbers. You have no idea who's going to see that tweet and then is going to come to your site or want to go to the game and say, hey, let's check out the schedule. So, it's just about taking chances, calculated risks. And, even though there's nothing to lose, and I'm sure there's some risk somewhere that someone could come up with and think of. But you got to take those chances. You got to take, you got to take those risks, and that's the way you get rewarded big. And you might not even know what that reward is going to be, but it's, it could help a lot of people. There's a lot you could do with charity, for these type of things.
Yeah, it's a great look for charities and all that. Most of our partners will give away a percentage of the, proceeds, but some just, keep the revenue, especially during these times. I know it's, our partners are looking for revenue, unfortunately, during all this crap. So, however they want to use the platform, let's do it. And we're ready to help them.
Yeah. What's in your background? I see bats. They're cut off.
Oh yeah, I got some. Let's see if other way here.
Baseball too.
Yeah, I got some game bats. I am a memorabilia collector, so I've been collecting. I got all sorts of stuff around here.
What's your favorite sports memorabilia?
I got a Pujols helmet from when he was at the Peoria Chiefs.
Bring it on. Go get it. Let's see it.
I'm wearing pants today, so
yeah, I know. It said somebody had that. It was last night. They're like, if he stands up, he's going to be wearing polka dot boxers. He's like, no, actually, normally you're right, but today he had a suit on. It was Harry Douglas, the wide receiver for the Falcons. He was on spoke at an event I was at last night.
Oh, nice.
So show us Pujols. This is
Pujols. There we go.
It's signed.
It's not signed. I gotta get it signed, but it's authenticated.
Wow, that's
so I just thought that I think it's kind of cool to have like a helmet. It's
how
kind
did you get that?
I bought it.
Okay.
I bought it like probably 12 years ago, and then this is kind of cool. This is a game certified Ortiz bat that's not signed yet. I gotta meet him somewhere. But look how much he mashed that thing. So this is like hitting the ball.
So Ortiz was just talking with Eli Lunzer Productions, and David Ortiz is doing a Super Bowl event at Topgolf.
Oh, really?
Where it's put on by Eli Lunzer, and
that's a great opportunity.
Looks like a fun event. What's your most valuable memorabilia?
Oh, I got a Nolan Ryan game used bat where he wrote like game used on it, and he doesn't do that very often. Like a lot of these guys don't like if you ask them to write something like that, they'll really look at it and try to see if they used it, and if they have any doubt, they just won't do that. So that's it's not worth a lot. I mean it's all relative, right? I mean it is worth a lot. It's around probably around $4 or $5 grand. But the thing that's worth the most that I have, and I'm such a nerd, and my wife used to make so much fun of me, but I've been collecting basketball cards and baseball cards and all that throughout the 2000s this entire time, and that market has just gone nuts.
Yeah.
So some Jordan cards I have are worth just stupid money. I mean not 100,000, but way more than what I bought it for. Let's just say.
I have a Wayne Gretzky rookie, not the O-Pee-Chee, but the Topps.
Oh, the Topps. Yeah, that's a good. That Wayne Gretzky, the Topps card is worth. Keeps going up because of the O-Pee-Chee.
There's just certain things. I have 3 signed baseballs that I guess I got to give one to my brother. I have a twin brother. So my dad had these signed baseballs, and I can't even tell you how he got them. They're like the '68 Dodgers. Jackie Robinson signed one of them. They're all very faded now, but there's just Pee Wee Reese's on there, and just Gil Hodges. I don't even know what they're worth. It doesn't matter because I would never get rid of them.
Yeah.
You'd have to give. I don't even know. I mean, obviously, someone puts $1 million in front of me, I'm going to do it. But short of that, I don't even. You know what? That's a good question. Anyway, my dad passed in 2005 from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, man.
We had David, the president of the Pancreatic Foundation, on yesterday. I'm actually going to give a shout out to him. They have a gala on Saturday. And Peter Frampton's going to be – there's a performance by Peter Frampton and Angelica Hale from America's Got Talent.
Wow.
All about it. If you get in touch with me, we can get you a free ticket for that if you want to just tune in for an hour for a good cause. It's no charge. If you can donate, even better. I mentioned that because he might be someone – they have a bunch of these events. So you don't have to hang around. I'm going to introduce you to whoever you need, wherever you want and talk. So – but yeah, he has a gala. It's going on Saturday, so that's tomorrow, man. The week.
Yeah, they're in the thick of it.
So that's my most invaluable one. Like I would never sell or give away. I collect a lot of bobbleheads.
Yeah, I love bobbleheads too.
Yeah. What's your favorite bobblehead that you have?
I got an Ernie Banks bobblehead that I have at home. That my dad gave me too. My dad passed on a long time ago as well, so we got that in common. But yeah, my dad was from South Bend, but didn't go to Notre Dame. But he collected a lot of Notre Dame stuff, so I got a lot of Notre Dame gear that I wouldn't get rid of either.
Full disclosure, Notre Dame is, it's hard to rank them, but they're in my top 5 most hated teams in all of sports, and they might be number 1. I think
we're the little engine that could. Why do you? We're not like the big bad Gators, and
very, very overrated, and they get a lot of credit for stuff that they shouldn't.
Well, they would have beaten A&M in Florida, but they can't beat Alabama. You're right.
I think we would have taken them. I was actually saw a prediction.
You didn't even beat. Who did you lose to?
That bowl game we were missing like everyone. I don't count that. I know people don't like to hear that, but I can't count that. And who knows, even if it is a bowl game, but you get a game like Notre Dame, Florida, which was almost projected to be in the Orange Bowl if Notre Dame didn't make it.
Okay.
And I can't wait till we play them someday.
Yeah, we played when Bettis was still at Notre Dame. I remember
they played the Gators.
Yeah, we beat the Gators in a bowl game. That's 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I don't. I think we played a cup. Maybe I don't know if we played since. I can't remember.
No, definitely not, because I started following them in '94.
Yeah, we beat Florida State in '94, and then they became champions. We beat them.
Well, that's your team. Is that Notre Dame that I struck a chord here?
Yeah, that's my team.
Who's your pro team?
I'm a Chargers. I mean, I was a Chargers fan. I kind of still am. They're one of our partners, so I still love the Chargers. But I'm from San Diego, so it's weird. Like, some of my friends are like full on board Chargers, and I support them, of course, and I love that they use Live Source. But it's weird when they leave your city.
Yeah, you gotta love what the Padres are doing.
Yeah, they're on fire, and the Padres are a client of ours too. So.
Like to see them take the next step.
Oh yeah, I just hope that. I hope everyone can be safe and do it. But it would be great, for fans to be able, because the Padres until last year were so bad for so long. I mean, it's been like a decade of being horrible. So it was a bummer that no one could go and support them in person last year. So hopefully this summer they'll be able to.
Yeah. What was your last event that you went to?
God. What was the last event that I went to? I don't know if it was an event. We went to a Ducks. We went to Anaheim Ducks and then the LA Kings game, like before
COVID
canceled. Like, yeah, we went to 2 hockey games last year or whenever that was prior to COVID. But yeah, I don't remember before COVID. Is it? I don't do. Is there such a thing?
I've been to 2 Gator games, and I know Brent, who is he's writing TE. I don't know. He's driving, so stop commenting. But Brent just was at the Gator basketball game, and
I mean, I would love to. California has been shut down. You know, Florida's pretty cool. How you guys have been managed.
Well, look, it's cool until something bad happens. I was very safe, and then I took some calculated risks, and I actually caught COVID on a trip to New Jersey.
Oh no!
And I'm okay now. My wife is recovering, but we're very fortunate to have mild, even though she got hit a little worse, to have mild symptoms. Look, we're in the live event business. We want live events to come. There's plenty of opportunity for me in the virtual world, but it's got to be done safely. And I think it's just a flip of a coin. You're just taking chances that someone doesn't have it, who comes in and spreads it to everyone, and they don't know they have it, and they don't know they're spreading it. And so at the end of the day, I'm not going to fault the states that are being extra cautious, but I think there was obviously a better way to do it. What was your favorite event? Like, tell me what your favorite event that you've ever been to, if there's something that sticks out that you were at by yourself, and then one with your wife, because she's obviously involved in this.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest event I've ever seen, I was at the Snow Bowl game for Notre Dame versus Penn State, as a kid. So that was awesome with my dad. That was like 93 or something with Rick Meyer. I mean, a long time ago, obviously. But my wife and I went to Notre Dame USC, and then the next day drove to see a Packers game at Lambeau, and that was cool.
That was great, isn't it? How great is that place?
That was awesome. I love the Horseshoe. We saw Ohio State Michigan game at the Horseshoe. LSU. These are just sporting events. We also concerts are awesome, but yeah, LSU at their stadium. I don't know what it's called, but that was awesome. I haven't been to Florida Stadium, but we did see a night game at LSU, and I don't know how we got out of there alive.
What percentage of your stuff is sports as opposed to other events? Because you really could do. I mean, you could have a fair, right? Fairs could have. I mean, there's no real that couldn't do it.
My role is the sports side, and then my wife Mary, she does like all the nonprofits and charities, and any other play, like a lot of the non-sport, like live events like plays, smaller concerts and things like that. So I'd say it's like getting closer to 50-50. It was probably like 70-30, live events to like charity stuff. But during the age of COVID, definitely changed the percentages a little more, evened it up.
So, but they could use an app or a website with no event, right?
Yeah, just as an
organization can just do.
Like the cool thing about LiveSource is that when anyone, one of the cool things, of course, I have lots of cool things, but when you launch an event on LiveSource, like all the people that bid with you before, they get notifications. So like you don't lose anyone from like the if you did an event where someone donated, bid on a raffle item, claimed as free sweepstakes item, and bid on an auction item. If they did any of those things, the next time that you launch an event on LiveSource, that person will get a notification about your new event automatically, and almost everyone clicks on those notifications. So. It's kind of like a snowball rolling downhill. So you can do virtual events without it being an event. You could just do like, an online auction for a week.
Yeah.
And start another one the next week, and all those people are going to get notified. So it works well that way.
Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. My lighting is terrible here. Speaking of auctions, did you see Uncut Gems?
Yeah.
What did you think about that movie?
Oh man, that movie, I love Adam Sandler. When I was skinnier and younger, people used to say I looked like him, and I went to NYU. and I think I was just a couple of years after him. People would be like, Adam? It's like, no. But yeah, it was a nerve-wracking movie, man. Like a lot of it was too on the edge.
Yeah.
I hated the ending. I mean, I just I wanted the good guy to win. So
yeah. The ending was actually, I saw it again and I didn't remember the end. I remembered it differently. I didn't think he was that great of an actor there. I think he's it's his shtick and it was a little bit too much for me. I love Adam Sandler.
Played it up. I mean, he definitely played it up.
Yeah, I thought Kevin Garnett was pretty good, and
Kevin Garnett was good. The auction was fun to see.
Yeah, the auction was interesting. So let's do a little bit of rapid fire here. That's how I always like to, and it doesn't end up being that rapid, but we'll ask you some random questions. One of them, we're always sports and entertainment centric. What is your favorite movie? Give me a favorite sports movie and then a favorite movie.
Probably Hoosiers. But I like, I've been watching a lot of those kids sports movies, like with The Rock recently with my kids.
Yeah.
Where he's like, a hockey player, but then he becomes the Tooth Fairy or something. I don't know. But, those are fun too. But yeah, I like Hoosiers.
Hoosiers is in my top 5 all-time movies. Forget about sports movies.
Yeah, it's great.
So is Field of Dreams, which is another sports movie.
I love that.
They are both sports movies in my top 5.
Tube Dreams. I love Tube Dreams. I don't know if I could ever watch it again, because I've seen it. I've been there. I don't know if I could sit down and rewatch it, but I did love it.
Do you have a favorite food?
We love Mexican food out here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, anything Mexican. There's like a billion taco shops in San Diego.
Do you have a favorite venue that you've been to, like a stadium? Obviously, Lambeau was great. Any? Is that it? Is Lambeau?
Yeah, probably Lambeau was probably Lambeau.
Where is the greatest, the best place you've been outside the U.S. and what's the one place you would love to go to?
Yeah, well, I like I've been to the Amalfi Coast in Italy, which was really cool, and it's like, like all the little colorful mini little properties are in the mountainside, and then it's overlooking like a beach, and it's like a one-way road all the way down. So I mean, that was really cool. I'd love to go back there. I'd love to go to the south of France at some point too. I've just seen pictures of Cannes and all those places, Nice.
How about the bucket list? Give me a couple bucket list events for you.
Yeah, bucket list events. Let's see. Notre Dame beating Florida.
Joke by Brent. I think he's referencing Uncut Gems.
I'm looking forward to seeing Notre Dame beating Florida in the national championship game.
Yeah,
that's one of them.
Have you been to a national championship for college?
No, I haven't. I would never go see Notre Dame in a national championship game because I know they were going to lose. But I have.
You just said you're going to beat Florida in the national championship.
Well, I'm confident we can beat Florida. They're just Florida. I mean, it's not like you guys have Urban Meyer or anything.
Yeah. So what about a bucket event? Do you have anything?
Yeah, let's see. I'd like to make it back to the U.S. Open again in New York. Would love to maybe see a finals game at the NCAA or experience a Final Four weekend or whatever.
So good.
I have been to a bunch of we used to go to the first round. We'd pick a weekend where the first games were Wednesday, Thursday or whatever, or Thursday, Friday, and we would go to Spokane, Washington, if that was the host, and we would watch those games. And those are always fun. But I never saw a buzzer beater though, and I've been to 7 of them. Yeah,
well, that would be awesome. How about I recommend Omaha if you can get there. Omaha was even if your team's not in it, was such a great experience. Great.
Yeah, Nebraska. That'd be fun.
Yeah. How about a favorite concert?
I did tangentially go to the big what's the Oklahoma-Texas game called?
the Red River shootout.
Yeah, River Shootout. I was visiting my brother in Dallas, and it was a River Shootout, and the hotel was empty the first night, and then I wake up the next morning, and it's Saturday, and there's like a billion kids in the lobby. There's like fraternity and sorority kids like going up and down the elevators, like it's like a madhouse, and it's like, oh, this is where they're gonna stay. All these kids are going to the game. Well, later that night after dinner, I come home from my. I didn't go to the game, but I was going back up to my elevator to my hotel room, and there's like 6 bags of Coke, like in front of the elevator, just sitting there. And I'm like, all right, these kids know how to party, man.
Yeah, that's
that was my Red River Shootout.
Wow. What I guess the concert, who's an artist who you've never seen who you would love to, that obviously you can?
I'd love to see Springsteen. I've never seen him live. It's good.
I saw him at the Final Four, which was a terrible experience, the Final Four, but his concert is in my top 5 concerts of all time. And that was the first time I'd seen him, which is crazy considering I'm from New Jersey. Last question I always like to ask, and I gotta give it more focused here because I get the same answer if I don't. I want to hear one person who is alive, who you're not related to, who you'd love to spend 24 hours a day with. Who's the person, and what do you guys do?
Oh, I'd love to hang out with Jordan. It would have been Kobe, but
yeah. So Jordan, what do you guys do? And you're going to obviously play.
We'll probably go to his private golf course. Have you been? That's in Miami, right, or South Florida, or is that in North Carolina? I know he built some like a private golf course where there's only 100 members and it's invite only.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, you gotta check that out. It looks amazing. But yeah, we'd go on the private plane. We'd go to a game. We'd have some lunch. We'd hang out. And I'd try to get some of that competitiveness to rub off on me because
play some hoops with him, play some golf.
Yeah, all of it.
So that's my goal. My goal is to one day be able to make it happen. Whoever, this is episode 13. I asked that question to everyone. One day I'm going to make that happen, and that's my goal. And then I retire.
That's awesome, man. Who's your answer?
Mine is Obama. I'd love to hang out with Obama, shoot some hoops with him, and just kind of talk. He listen to some music. I think he's just he seems like someone I'd want to hang out with.
Yeah, he seems like a cool dude.
High on my list. Before we let you go, I got some stuff scrolling down here. Tell everyone, how they can get in touch with you. Just anything else you really want to tell people about what you guys are doing, which is great. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Let's just call it a no-brainer, especially now until the 15th.
Yeah. Well, just contact us. That's our phone number that's scrolling. hello@livesourceapp.com. You can reach us, and my staff and I will be happy to talk with you about any event and getting you set up. It takes 2 seconds to get set up, and it's all about simplicity and making it easy for you and your supporters. So that's what we're all about.
So I'm a week out from my event. It's enough time to get through all the stuff and go live. And
yeah, totally. You can do it next day
with minimal resources on my end.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Look, really appreciate you coming on today. Look forward to future conversations. I
want to talk about let's exchange some messages after this too.
Yeah, absolutely. Brent wants to go fishing with George, but Brent's one of the best fishermen out there.
I love fishing.
Fishing with George W. That would be interesting too.
Let's go salmon fishing in Alaska, George.
I have to get on the show one day, and then we'll get him in touch with George W. That would be that's my I'll have to do it. So great to join. Great to have you here. Another plug for the LiveSource app. Yesterday we had the National Pancreatic Foundation has their gala tomorrow. Check out my social media. We'll get you a free ticket for that. Everyone have a great weekend. Stay safe. We got some great guests coming up in the next couple of weeks, so stay tuned. Thanks again.